we started growing pearlweed on filters. I gave them a couple filters to try it.
Oh, sweet.
Hey, it's Logan at Fish Happens, and today we're going to walk to the fish store and I'm going to show you a few of our highlights.
Over here. So I got some more tetras. We got some of the L129 zebra plecos, brown zebra plecos.
What's interesting about these?
They don't get as big as any other pleco. Well, I mean, they're a small type. So I believe Google says 3 inches is how big they grow. Kind of like a clown pleco, but a little bit fancier. Yeah, they've got some, and they all seem kind of unique. Like they don't all have the same pattern. Got some more threadfin rainbows. They sold out, so I went ahead and got them there. Red dwarf rainbow fish. I'd say like a 20 long minimum.
They're community fish?
Yeah, they can be community for sure. I want to put them with like guppies or something. We got a bunch of dwarf frogs. We got a batch of albinos. So there's a batch of albino dwarf frogs, along with the regular. Another Celebes rainbow. Those sold out too. Got some banjos, baby banjos.
How big do they get?
There's a guy that says he's got one as big as his hand.
These are yo-yo loaches, and they get their name because they have little Y's and O's on their body, and it kind of gets the name of yo-yo because of that. They're really cool. They're great to eat pest snails. They're pretty much a community fish. They stay at the bottom, hide, and they like to eat the snails at night.
Some red striped rasboras. They're like the CPDs, but they have red stripes on them. Can't really see in the bag. They're stressed out. They're very small. Golden dwarf barbs too. They are also one that only gets about an inch. Slightly more aggressive. I want to put them with some shrimp, but they're nano fish, so not as big as the other barbs. Got a couple baby red-tailed catfish. They were small babies. 1 or 2 of these are reserved, but still this one. This big snowflake eel.
What do you feed this thing?
Probably krill at this size. Krill or myosis shrimp.
What can they go with?
Well, he will probably get much bigger. So, South American cichlids, more than likely. Small community tank is definitely not recommended. Got some big red severums. So those are cool. Came in a decent size. The gold red severum.
Gold red severum.
Gold red spot severum, sorry. I got some fire eels. They're a decent size. They're gonna be.
What do they eat?
Primarily blood worms, but you can probably also feed them any shrimp, so like myosis and krill.
How big will they get?
I've seen them 2.5, 3 foot. I've seen a couple where their head was as big as my fist. They can get massive. Got a small ornate Bashirian. He's actually tank raised too, so he should turn out really pretty, real high quality. Some Indian sun cats. A couple of these are also reserved, but yeah, they get. Well, there's one that's about 9 inches in the pond up front, living with the Oscars. But they'll eat up some pest snails too in your bigger tanks. Them Raphael catfish.
What are these fish?
The rainbow cichlids. These are rainbow cichlids. They breed like a convict. Like you can definitely get them to breed really easily. They live in a group usually. Pretty not aggressive unless it's kind of smaller fish. So they're almost like the schooler of a South American tank. There's silver dollars and stuff, but you can add these guys. and they eat veggies too.
People
So-
like the hornwort floating. Can you leave it floating?
Yeah, you can just leave it floating. Usually I like the nice majestic look to it, so I'll kind of just let it go around floating. But if I start to see little bunches of roots developing, you're able to start planting it. But yeah, it's able to just float. Now you don't put this plant hornwort with other plants, because it actually produces a chemical that's similar to cyanide for other plants, so it will snuff out other plants so it can take over. So but cichlids don't really eat it most of the time, so it's one of the staples of the hobby that you can put with cichlids. One of the only plants you can really put with cichlids. Big Fahaka puffer. Customer's house caught on fire, and while they're working everything out, they are actually renting the tank. She eats mystery snails and little shrimp, and internet will say they eat little fish, but she wanted her to fly unless it was snail shaped. But yeah, she loves snails. She's very active. Probably would bite your finger if you really let her, but she's just waiting for that snail. But you can give her most shrimp, clams in a half shell, which I actually bought her a little pack.
Do you have a snail? We could feed her?
Sure. You can hear it cracking. Avatar beta. Kind of a fancy beta. Can't really get a good look at him. He's blue too, so you get the blue stuff. We have a lot of the chilies, the strawberry rasboras. Or not chilies, the strawberry.
What are they good for?
They're just the nano fish. They don't get a lot bigger than that. So you're able to have a big school in a small tank. And I've had them with shrimp several times, so don't really pick them. You might like gang up on a little shrimp baby. Pearl weed back in stock. We actually made this filter with pearl weed. It's growing all over it, starting to take over. So that's pretty cool.
So if somebody buys pearl weed.
Yeah, if somebody buys a pot of pearl weed, you're able to kind of pull it out, and you're able to actually attach it to the sponge filter. Where you take a normal sponge and just kind of pinch it underneath, like where it opens up. It'll pinch right there. And pearl weed and other plants too, you can get wisteria and all kinds of stuff to actually grow on it. Eel streams, fresh from Vietnam. There are tons of them, over 150 in stock, I believe now. Different sizes, a couple breeding sizes if anybody's interested in breeding some.
How do you breed them?
Just have a couple large ones and a species specific tank, more than likely. So I would do just hill streams. I've had a couple people that tell me that they've done it in low flow, so just like a sponge filter and some hill streams. But traditionally a higher flow tank, but species specific.
They're pretty easy to care for.
Yeah, they eat a little bit of algae, but you want to drop in like a shrimp pellet.
Or those snails.
Yeah, and there's tons of assassin snails.
What are they good for?
They eat past snails. They're one of the best for past snails. Gobble them up. A couple a day per assassin. Bumblebee goby. They will also probably eat some shrimp, but there's been some shrimp in here and they haven't been messing with them. So they get a little bit bigger, but still not about too big. Definitely a nano fish.
What do you feel like feed hill stream loaches?
any kind of sinking pellet. They're a loach, so they'll definitely eat some shrimp pellet. You know, bug bite, shrimp pellet, or sinking pellet. Anything that really hits the bottom. I've seen them eat flake too. So.
Do they eat algae?
They eat a little bit, but they don't really like wipe the algae out. You can see where they eat on the glass just a little bit, but it's not gonna really like clean the tank. Mollies and swordtails are known to eat some hair algae too. Got some blue rams in. Looks like a good group.
Both of them are blue rams?
Yeah.
What kind of tank do you put them in?
You typically a softer water. You can actually put them in with discus and stuff. But they're a community. I put them at like a larger fish in the community. It's still a cichlid, so you need to be careful. I probably wouldn't put guppies and stuff in there. These are different types of Australian rainbows. There's some Bosmani and Millenniums and Deep Creek rainbows. All the rainbows come from Australia area, Madagascar area, kind of part of Africa, I guess. But yeah, so there's a bunch of different types. Find different rainbows in different streams, but there's a couple larger emeralds and turquoise in here. Around 4,000 shrimp came in. There's a bunch of different colors, 7 different colors. Whole tanks full. Lots of egg-bearing ones if anybody wants a couple eggs.
What kind are these?
These are the orange sun-kissed shrimp.
What does it look like when they have eggs? So why is the stomach moving?
Well, they have a bunch of little eggs that hold the eggs there, and she fans them to keep the water fresh around so they don't go fungusy and kind of die. So that's the only way to really keep to breed shrimp is to let the female take care of them, and then she'll eventually, when they're about to hatch, start scattering them around, and they'll kind of hatch. And
How long does that take?
usually it's about 30 days that the eggs are developing, and then probably a couple weeks before you even see one of the little baby shrimp in your tank.